intro music? Yeah! Woohoo!
An exciting month of mining awaits you, Star Trek Fleet Commanders, and I'm already celebrating with my Nova. Now, obviously, we've already talked about it. A brand new ship comes out here during patch 81, the Serene Squall. But will that be worth going after? Will you choose to purchase a mining ship? Well, that's going to be up to you. I will go over all the patch notes here today, and with the power of the internet, my lights will go off. So what all can we find here in Strange New Worlds Part 2? Well, Flashpoints are coming back, as we told you they would be. I mean, that's going to happen throughout the rest of the year. But we will be looking for event changes to see how much they've improved those based on player feedback. We'll see what that actually ends up looking like. But we got new missions, the Serene Squall, new officers, which really interested to see what y'all think about these two new officers. Epic Transition, new ship loop efficiencies, new exocomps, and your normal runs of battle passes and such. Now, we've already covered the Serene Squall a little bit, but let's go ahead and talk about it here at the moment. You know, again, shipyard level 30, so an Ops 30 ship. And as they're selling it, the combat miner. Now, to start working on it immediately, good news, you can. And that way you can start deciding, hey, I'm going to free to play this loop. How does that actually work? It's actually quite simple. So you have the Transigen Refinery, and you're going to go right into it. And right next to your raw to refined Epic Transigen, you've got the Serene Squall blueprints, which are going to cost you, thankfully, just uncommon. And you do a 2 chest pull, which is 2 blueprints. So that gives you your 100-day path. And there you go. That is how you slowly work on unlocking the Serene Squall. So free-to-play pathing will require the uncommon currency, not the common currency, but I think that's still pretty okay. Yeah, debatable though, because that's not easy to get as a low-level player. As somebody with a level 34 account, let me tell you, getting the uncommon is a pain. So very curious to see what people have as feedback for that point down below. I guess I'm happy that it's not rare and certainly not the epic, but there we go. Comment down below what you think. So it has many active abilities, which we've talked about. It has the automated defense ability that you can activate, available at tier 1, grants combat bonuses versus Sudelbon hostiles while mining. You have the passive abilities of the Transigen Hall and Black Flag, so increasing the rare raw epic Transigen mining rate and increasing the loot from Sudelbon hostiles in Transigen space. You also have the unique features, which is a different way of kind of passive, but Transigen Tempest immunity, survive the harshest hazard zones where new raw epic Transigen spawns. And this is important because if you haven't gone and take a look at your galaxy map yet, you might want to, because those new systems, well, they pack a little bit of a punch. How much of a punch? Well, 5,000. Yeah, if you were a G3 player and you're like, man, hazards are painful. You had a 20% hazard. The new systems, we go from 20% to 5,000. So you're not putting anything in that unless it's got the Serene Squall. So for example, we have these went boom earlier. So just again, keep in mind 5,000. And I did that just for testing, dropped a ship in there. Didn't take long, as you can imagine, for it to go kaboom. So make sure that you've got the Serene Squall if you want to go mining that epic, or maybe find a way to just avoid it just for a quick moment and get some OPC hits in. But back to the Serene Squall, high protected cargo, mine longer with minimal risk, and then last but not least, the jump drive via research, point-to-point jumps across the galaxy starting at tier 5. Now, if you are curious what that ends up looking like in terms of the Serene Squall, we have updated the Transigen spreadsheet. Yep, this is Star Trek Spreadsheet Command. So if you are curious about the Serene Squall and its various stats and such, we will have all that updated in the chart. So check that out. It's always good to have that handy. Yay, spreadsheets. Who doesn't love more spreadsheets? So I'm going to jump on past that. We'll get to the dedicated research tree, which does have some, arguably very valuable things in it. Again, once you obtain the Serene Squall. Good news, it does have a free-to-play path day 1. Bad news, it takes the uncommon versus taking the common, which will make it more difficult for lower ops players to unlock quickly. But if you hop over into the station tree, you will find a brand new section located towards the beginning of the Starship tree, so you can start seeing some of these that we are looking at here on the screen. So the Federation mining and Klingon mining and Romulan sweeps probably the ones that are most important for a lot of players, because it's going to be back to that time-saving idea. Allows G3 through G6 Federation mining daily goals to be completed by mining Transigen. All you need is the Serene Squall, and that works for all 3 of them. And that is a time saver that prevents you from having to mine those 3 different types, having the ability to get it all done in one. It's kind of like the freebooters of mining. So that is pretty nice to look at down the road, whether you get that down Or the wait to get it, the Serene Squall, that is pretty nice. The Serene Squall warp range, again, that's going to be pretty understandable, generic, but understandable. More warp range. Apex barrier for the Serene Squall, ISO damage. You see, this is all for the Serene Squall, making it more effective when fighting these hostiles. Increases the Squall's crit chance with the automated defenses inactive and the ship is mining. We also have FKR damage, which is the base damage for all ships, which is going to be good for everybody, 2,000% bonus. Also, FKR mining speed and combat ship XP, nice for everything. So it's just kind of like generic run. And then finally, more Serene Squall mining stuff here at the bottom for the rare, uncommon, and common to get those done. So just trying to make the Serene Squall a really, really rounded out miner. Yay. There we go. So back over here, I do like it has a couple of nice abilities. So mining integration, the Federation Klingon Romulan mining sweep, as we just talked about, I really do like these in terms of just making your gameplay quicker and easier. We have the epic transition hazard zone. Now, we just showed you that. It's super fun. Who doesn't love 5,000? That's a big number. Yeah, bigger number equals better content. Wow. Okay, we're just gonna skip right on past that because that's not, yeah, nope. Epic refined transition rewards. So you got the ship strong box. Again, all this is in our transition spreadsheet, which y'all are more than welcome to check out. Please check it out. Check out the spreadsheet. But in the spreadsheet, you're going to find what all these are going to add. So for example, we've got the officers, we got the artifacts, we've got all of the currencies that we actually need, like the rares, uncommons, and commons for this loop. And then we have chapel shards, which this is going to be technically kind of strike team, but not strike team chapel. We'll talk about the officers here in a second. And epic artifacts included, as well as epic exocoms as well. So we got quite a bit in there. New officers, Strange New World, Black Ops Mbenga, and Strange or New World's rare Black Ops Chapel. Now, I am torn is not the right word. I'll be honest. I don't feel like these are very strong officers. At the same time, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And I ask that sincerely because one of the issues that we've had, in my opinion, for a long time has been continual power creep in the game where we just take the same thing that exists and just jack it up to really strong strengths. Where this has actually helped filling in the Strange New World set that already exists, adding in more officers that provide, a value, especially when it comes to below decks. And here we're going to see them right there. So we have the below deck ability of whole health gain. Well, that's just Tendy, right? Below deck ability, that's Tendy's ability, but this is 500%. So a bit of a knock it up a little bit. Then Strange New World Black Ops Mbenga below deck ability restores the shields up to 10%. Each round versus hostiles. I mean, both of those are solid without being overwhelmingly strong. I think they're good additions. Now, how much that you enjoy that level of good addition? Well, you let me know in the comment section. But I do personally appreciate that it's not an overwhelming number, but they do have value to average PvE players, which is most players in the game. All right, isolated defense versus Flashpoint hostiles and invading entities. That last part, the invading entities, might be important for you if you have not unlocked Wrath of Khan Joaquim yet, because that gets you up to 800%. Now, that is a officer ability. An officer ability here is positive rep gain versus Federation, Klingon, and Romulan hostiles. Not many people G4 and above doing that anymore because we have mirror grinding, but still worth pointing out and worth noting. Serene Squall refits. We've got an Orion skin, which isn't included here, but we can put up here on the screen here in just a second. Where I like that look a heck of a lot better than I like the Serene Squall, if I'm being honest with you. The Serene Squall, I'm not going to get onto Scopely for what it looks like because it is canon. It was in Star Trek Strange New World, Season 1, Episode 7, and that's fine. But the Orion ship looks way better. And I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like right here. This is the Serene Squall skin, which to me, and I know this is probably going to sound dumb to many of you, this is worth having the Serene Squall just so I can have the skin because I think this looks really cool. But it increases the refined transient rewards in the Serene Squall strong box from transient refinement by 30%, increasing protected cargo by 200%, and base hazard resistance by 50% for the Serene Squall. So just making the Serene Squall a better mining ship with a better refinery. But in terms of skins, it's a pretty nice skin. Changes the look completely. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Serene Squall is not really a looker. And I guess that's okay. All right, so we got our XComs, we got our battle pass, and then our bug fixes. So almost everything this month is circling around the Serene Squall. Is that a bad thing? I don't honestly think that's a bad thing. And that should release a opportunity for less this month. And I know we've been asking for less for a while. It really comes down to the events. How will the events roll out? Will they be too much? Will they be too little? So far, everything is Serene Squall based. And if you're not getting the Serene Squall, then you'll just be going about your normal transition loops. And hopefully that's okay. Then we got the Mbenga, as I was saying. And then we've got Chapel. And I will say, in terms of officer grouping, Strange New Worlds is becoming one of the most fleshed out and best overall groups in the game. If they weren't already, which in my opinion they were. But man, Strange New World, Dejac has a really nice, usability. You have Giorgio, you've got Section 31, Strange New World, Pike, Hammer, and Mbenga, all these pretty good officers. So really quietly become one of the better groups in the game. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Like the video if you haven't already. Live long and plunder. Stay safe with the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. It's going to be another fun month in Star Trek League, man.